guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing really well. Today's video is going to be quite a different tone than what we normally do. We like being over the top, we like giving it 110%. And today I'm still going to be giving you the energy and still talking to you, but I do want to come at this from a different angle than my normal videos, but also kind of what you would expect when we're talking about Gabbie Hanna. Now, if you've clicked this video and you think that this is going to be like a shitting on Gabbie Hanna, like trolling Gabbie Hanna kind of video, I'm just going to be upfront and tell you that that's not what this is going to be. So to avoid disappointment, you can click off. But if you're here for the conversation of what I do want to talk about, I would appreciate you staying. Now, Gabbie Hanna recently on her social medias, most importantly TikTok, but also on Instagram, but mainly TikTok, has been posting a lot of very worrying videos, and I mean a lot of very worrying videos. I'm talking hundreds per day of the following things. It started with Gabbie Hanna saying that she died and came back. And since that moment, there has kind of been a religious calling of God happening to her, which is not a bad thing, you know what I mean, if someone feels connected to God or anything. But to explain it without showing you the videos, is that Gabbie Hanna believes that she is the second coming of Christ. And I'm not saying that as a joke, I'm not saying that to troll. I have a hair on the camera. Could you see that entire time? Sorry, that was so embarrassing and unprofessional of me. She thinks that she is the second coming of Christ. And I'm not saying that and laughing. I'm not saying that as a joke. That is exactly what we're dealing with. And there are videos of her doing all of that kind of stuff, where she is explaining how she's the second coming of Christ. There are videos of her talking about how she's going out on like the public street outside her house and just screaming in the early hours of the morning to, you know, let everyone know that she has this new calling from Christ. There are videos of Gabbie acting in a very manic way, and I mean that in a very respectful way. I'm not saying that as a joke. There are many worrying things happening on her TikTok right now. There are also, and I do want to include this point, there are videos of Gabbie Hanna on Instagram Live, or TikTok Live, sorry, being very problematic. She is being very problematic, and she is making a lot of statements that someone of a sane mind would not be making. And now, you're probably like, Adam, when we make these videos, we look at the videos, we go through them. First of all, I think that would probably take a good few hours because, again, there are hundreds of videos per day that she is uploading. The reason I am not doing this and showing you the videos, but instead talking about it, is because this has been my most requested video ever. Point blank period, this has been my most requested video, to talk about what is happening with Gabbie Hanna. I've seen it, I've seen the comments, I've been responding to comments, I've been responding to tweets of people saying, I'm sorry to disappoint you, I'm not rushing to make this video, nor do I even want to make this video. So now that I'm making it, the comments are getting a bit much where people think that I'm just avoiding it, and Gabbie's getting special treatment, or, you know, you're a drama channel, why aren't you covering the drama that's happening? The reason I'm not showing the videos is because I do not want to directly profit. Because that is what this is. And for the drama channels that are making videos on Gabbie Hanna right now, for the commentary channels, for the Twitch, for the anybody making videos on Gabbie Hanna right now and showing the videos and like letting the videos play for minutes upon minutes and then monetizing that video, collectively everyone is monetizing this person going through a breakdown, a mental manic breakdown. So I would much rather talk about my opinion on this, talk about my overall take on this, and have that be on my YouTube channel, rather than just letting the videos play, because then I am literally just making income off of a human being directly showing that they're struggling. So that's why I'm not showing the videos. Now, there have also been many attempts from Gabbie Hanna's fans, from people on Twitter, to get the police, get her friends and family to do a wellness check, to, you know, she's posting so much on her social medias, and there have been a lot of posts that she's been doing that have been like, I'm signing off for now, goodbye for now, all of these very scary things to put out there whenever you're showing very scary behavior. And when you're actively saying that you can't wait to go back to Jesus and you can't wait for it all to be over and stuff like this. And there have been so many times on social media where Gabbie Hanna has been trolling, and Gabbie Hanna has been posting a lot of what I would have called in the moment like manic posts. And I honestly believe that Gabbie Hanna trolls a lot. And I think that she was in that moment. I think she has throughout a duration of her career. I think that she's relied on that a lot for her music, to get attention for her music, like trolling and acting crazy. But I do believe that this time is different, and I think that we're all seeing that. So there have been many attempts of the police going out and doing these wellness checks and making sure that she's safe, and then Gabbie will make a video in the morning after going quiet for, 16 hours, and she'll say that I haven't made any attempts to harm myself, so I'm just, doing me, and even that, the response is worrying. Now, this kind of escalated a bit when a guy called Nick actually recorded going up to Gabbie Hanna's house, recorded her opening the door, and asked to use her bathroom. Now, I'm not showing those videos, not only just because of the state that Gabbie's in, and I don't think it's respectful to, but also because I don't want to platform this son of a bitch, Nick. I'm going to explain my anger towards him in a second. So he asks Gabbie to use the bathroom. She opens the door, she's very pleasant, she says, yes, of course. He's recording this entire thing secretly. Gabbie is under the pretense that this is just someone who was walking around her street and wanted to use the bathroom and she's allowing him in. Now, a lot of people are like, why did she let him in? Again, it's very clear that Gabbie Hanna is going through something right now, so I'm not even going to take the conversation to judging her decision to do that. She allows this person into her house, and this person basically proceeds to spend the rest of the day behind her back recording everything that she's doing. Recording everything in her house. Recording her cats, going into her bedroom, recording her bathrooms, recording her hallways, recording her kitchen, her living room, her garden, all of these different things. And he actually did a couple tweets that was like, I'm in Gabbie Hanna's house, lol, what should I do? Meanwhile, Gabbie Hanna is under the idea that he is someone who just needs the bathroom. And he came in and he was really sweet, and now we're friends, we're talking, and again, I'm not going to judge Gabbie's decision to do that. This person then directly takes advantage of Gabbie, breaks into her house, and this goes on for quite some time, where he is just secretly recording everything she's doing. And it has been one of the first times in my life where I have been so actively defending Gabbie Hanna. Never have I ever been like that before. But this made me so upset that someone saw the mental state she was in online, went to her address, got into her house by alluding to do something else, and then is trying to befriend her while leaking everything to do with her online. So then it got to the stage where Gabbie records going up to him, because she has now found out that he's actually knows her and broke in and lied to her. And Gabbie goes up and says, Nick, why are you pretending that you don't know me? You do know me. And it turns into this argument where Gabbie is screaming at him to get out of her house. Obvious reaction. But in that moment, Nick is caught going through her medication. So, not only is Gabbie Hanna's mental health in a crisis, but there are people now breaking and entering into her house, even if she lets them in. Even if she lets them in. And her mental state doesn't warrant them being like, she let me in, because that's what this guy is doing. Going through her medication, illegally recording her property. So that was happening as well, right? So there has just been so much happening with Gabbie, and it's blowing up on TikTok, it is blowing up on YouTube, and I really didn't mean to disappoint people by not covering it, because I have covered everything Gabbie Hanna has done. But I'm gonna be completely honest, whenever I was watching this unfold, I really reflected on my own behavior, and I was like, while I do agree that Gabbie Hanna, through many of these breakdowns, has been trolling, it made me analyze that we are celebrating this person who is clearly showing a manic mental breakdown that I believe she hasn't shown before. I believe that Gabbie Hanna has never been at the stage where she's at right now. And I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, I don't know if that's offensive to say. I believe that every single time before this, Gabbie Hanna has been trolling to promote her music. And I really do stand beside that point. I really do. And I know that I've been having conversations with other creators behind the scenes where that's kind of an unpopular opinion to say, and some of them agree that she's doing the exact same thing now. I believe, and I actually do stand behind my coverage of any of these breakdowns she's done in the past, because I saw right through it. Oh, she would release a song the next day. But this time's different. And I, for the sake of me, have been actively ignoring covering this. Because I was like, wow, even if I've covered other breakdowns she's had in the past, and I believe that she was trolling, and I believe that if I kept that pretense and be like, oh, well, she could be trolling this time, and not actually doing my research into it, I don't think that I would be a good person. And whatever people say about me, I completely respect everyone's opinion. If you hate me, love me. There was nothing in me that could cover this the way I've covered her in the past. I was on the phone to my mother for 2 hours, like a week ago, about Gabbie Hanna. Do you think my mother cares to hear about Gabbie Hanna for 2 hours? No, but I wanted to talk about it in a private setting that wasn't YouTube video, or, you know, something like that. Like, I really don't know if I'm making sense here, but this felt completely different to me, and I was really, really, really shocked to see the amount of coverage of this. The amount of coverage of this. When I make this video, I'm not touching on this again. I am not touching on this again. And if you even consider our recent coverage of Gabbie on this channel has been about her music. Because this situation with Gabbie really, like no other, feels like dogpiling on a mentally ill person. And you can make the argument, Adam, you've done that in the past, and she was, you know, mentally ill there too. Again, I really do stand behind my decision that I believe that she was trolling in the past. It would be music release, trolling, music release. And let's not, you know, use this as an excuse. Being mentally ill is not an excuse for trying to ruin other people's lives or take down other people, which Gabbie Hanna is very guilty of as well. But me, when I was seeing all of these rollouts of these drama channels and commentary channels and people on Twitter doing threads, and TikTok was the main one, making video after video after video after video, because it was easy videos. You know, she was posting hundreds of videos a day, easy videos, easy videos. You can, you know, give an opinion for 30 seconds, then let it play, and then you, tons of money on it. It felt incredibly inappropriate and incredibly exploitative in a way that I've very seldom felt like that whenever I've ever had to cover a story on YouTube drama before. I've been doing this 2 years now. I've never felt like this with a story, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe I should have in other situations with other people. I haven't. I really, really, really haven't. This one feels incredibly weird to me, and I just think that, like, again, doubling down on my points that I think she's always been trolling in the past. So whenever I see her in this state now, and I believe that she's actually going through a very serious breakdown where she needs help, how could I be a person that preaches mental health and then make a video being like, oh, look what's happening, look what's happening, oh my god, she's crazy? No. You can't be both. You can't be both. So the same way that I felt that she's been trolling, that Trisha's been trolling, that Jeffrey's been trolling, that all of these YouTubers, whenever they act crazy online for attention or publicity or whatever, if I've covered it, I felt like they're trolling, or I felt like they're doing enough harm that I need to call them out. Now, Gabbie is doing harm right now. She's being incredibly offensive on her TikTok live. She's being incredibly problematic, and she's doing all this. And I think that she's creating so much harm online, but she's also creating so much harm for her own state. And that's why this feels so icky. Icky. There was a stage last week where I was in a group chat talking with a lot of people who make YouTube videos like what I do, and a lot of people within the YouTube space, where we all didn't know if Gabbie Hanna was still alive. So there was nothing in me ever. This has been the most serious thing probably in my entire time doing YouTube drama where it has felt this serious, there was a time where we didn't think she was still alive. There was a good 17 hours that behind the scenes we were trying to figure out if she was still alive. TMZ were covering it. Like, we didn't know if she was in hospital, if she had been 5150'd, or if she was still alive. And I did snap on a bunch of people on Twitter, and I really do apologize if that was you. There were a lot of the muckers who I adore tweeting me disappointed that I wasn't covering it. And while I understand that we cover these people, I just thought everyone was going to have the attitude like, this is a bit too real. This is a bit too real. And I feel that if you've struggled with mental health yourself, which I have, and I assume most of you have, watching someone in a state where you can see them as like a person struggling instead of, oh, they're doing that for attention. They're trolling. She has a music release next week. Or Trisha being like, she's trying to get attention because she's doing her podcast or her, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. When I'm watching these videos of Gabbie Hanna, I had to stop. It was not entertainment to me. It was not funny. It was not enjoyable. It was sad and scary. And I just wanted to do this video where it's like putting, you know, closing the book, even though I just opened it like 16 minutes ago, you know what I mean? Like, it's a very quick fucking book. That I didn't feel comfortable covering what's going on with Gabbie Hanna. And it's still ongoing. I don't feel comfortable with it. And so this video is to the people who've been asking, why am I ignoring it? Those are my reasons. I wish her the best. It's hard to see someone in that state, regardless of how you feel about them. Do I like Gabbie Hanna? No. Does that mean that I find enjoyment in watching Gabbie Hanna in a very manic state? Sorry, there's like an alarm going off from like a boat or something. Does that mean that I enjoy seeing her in that state? Absolutely not. And I think that if you enjoy seeing someone in that state, I do think that you need to look a little bit inward. And I don't mean to be like Trisha Paytas, like meditation here, but it's very scary that the approach that the internet had the past 2 weeks with Gabbie Hanna was, how much can we push her? How much can we push her? And if you've seen the TikToks, you've seen the TikToks. They're still on her page. So if you don't even know what I'm talking about, you can go on her TikTok and watch. I could never post a video where I'm including them and monetizing the video. I can't. I can't. And I'm not trying to act holier than holy here, because I am still making a video on it. But I just wanted to do it in a way more respectful way. And hey, creators can do whatever they want. I actually like haven't watched YouTube videos on Gabbie Hanna right now. I know that they're out there because I see the thumbnails. I see them in my subscriptions. I've seen the TikToks because it was impossible, even still, to avoid people making fun of her in this state. And people not even making fun of her, I don't even know if that's the right word, but being like, this is better than any TV show. And the is better than any TV show is seeing what she's gonna do next. How far is she gonna push it? And when that guy broke into her house, people were like, wow, this is so good. Like, what's the next thing gonna be? What's he gonna show next? And I'm like, really? I think, and I am guilty of this too, of not looking at creators like real people. And I am guilty of it. I'm incredibly guilty of it. Especially as a drama channel, holy fuck. Of not looking at creators like real people. Because they come across to us as characters. Which most of them are. So that's the line. But they are real people who, in this instance, is struggling with mental health very deeply and very clearly. So as much as I've criticized Gabbie Hanna in the past, do I take any of that back? Not really. Sorry. Because I think that there is so much to call her out for. And I think that there have been so many attempts of her blatantly lying and trolling. But in this instance, I cannot stand behind the dogpiling of it. You know what I would much rather do? Wish she seeked help. Wish people in her circle were caring. Hoping that, you know what I mean, instead of what we're dealing with now. And again, this doesn't take away from anything that Gabbie Hanna has done. Gabbie Hanna has done awful things online. awful things online. Awful things behind the scenes. Y'all know how much I love Jessie Smiles. I fucking adore Jessie Smiles. This does not take, me saying any of this does not take away a single thing about my criticisms of Gabbie Hanna. All I'm saying is in this specific instance, it makes me very uncomfortable how entertaining people find it. How entertaining people find this. So, I wanted to make this video to have the sit-down conversation. If you've been wondering, I posted yesterday and there were so many comments about it, and I posted the day before that and there were so many comments. When I went back to Ireland for like 2 days, my comments were flooded with people. And my Instagram DM, like I've addressed it so many times on my Twitter, but I know not everyone is on there, but like my Instagram and YouTube comments, like they have been flooded with people being like, oh, now you're avoiding Gabbie Hanna. And it's like, no, and I wanted to get on here and explain my reasoning. So, I want to hear your take on it. Please be respectful in the comments below. And I don't mean to disappoint, but you cannot expect to see more videos on this situation past this. I don't mean to disappoint. I don't think this is a case about keeping the same energy. I think this is a completely different situation. I think this is a situation where, like I said, merely days ago, a lot of us behind the scenes were wondering if she was still alive. So, I'm sending her my best. I truly hope she gets the help she needs and wants. And it's not an enjoyable thing to watch. So, I know Gabbie won't be watching this, but if anyone in her circle is, show you care. And make sure she's good. And muckers, I love you. I'm sorry for the somber video, but I really did want to talk about this and just have like a very like open conversation about this. I love you and thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one, and bye. Mwah.